GRI was formed almost 12 years ago now, following the global financial crisis. Leaders at the time recognized that Canada had fared relatively well, but also recognized that the risk landscape had changed and would require continued industry collaboration to ensure that we maintained a focus on proactively managing and navigating the evolving risk landscape. GRI has become a meaningful contributor to the dialogue on the management of emerging risks and trends for the sector. We've continued to expand our membership and mandate, bringing together leaders from industry, academia, and government. In the past 5 years alone, our membership has increased by 40%, adding more credit unions, asset managers, and insurers to our growing membership, including outside of Ontario. And we're delighted to welcome a number of new first-time participants this year. So last year, we introduced a comprehensive survey to assess and help guide our programs and initiatives. And I know many of you here filled that survey out, so thank you. But participants in that included board members, C-suite, CEOs, executives, and non-executives. Responses from all sectors, including our federal and Ontario government partners. And we were extremely pleased. We learned a lot of things and areas that we will continue to develop and grow. But in addition to that, the results were extremely strong. 92% of our membership said they would recommend GRI's services to other organizations and other colleagues. And our NPS score, our Net Promoter Score, was 54, which was well above the industry average of what the numbers range as somewhere between 34 and 41 in the financial sector. And so why were the results so positive? The detailed feedback indicated that GRI was on the forefront of emerging risks. We were staying on top of current topics, and we were providing relevant sessions to our members. And 70% of participants agreed that GRI's services were unique and not available from any other source, highlighting our Canadian-based financial expertise, our bespoke events, and our policy level and strategic thinking. So overall, we're making great progress together at a time of increasingly high uncertainty. And we look forward to continuing to receive feedback from all of you on an ongoing basis. I joined GRI 5 years ago because I believed that we could more effectively leverage opportunities if we ensured that effective risk management was a shared responsibility across an entire organization and ultimately across the entire ecosystem. One of the key messages that I think we should take away from the Silicon Valley Bank collapse and the resultant fallout is that we are only as strong as our weakest link. The ecosystem is fragile, and we all need to play our part to inform ourselves and recognize the potential pitfalls and longer-term impacts of our decision-making today. So as you go through today's session, we will examine the emerging risks we are facing, the uncertainty they create, and we will focus on the opportunities that lie before us. For most of my professional life, the prevailing corporate doctrine has been the social responsibility of business is to increase its profits and reward our shareholders. In more recent years, business leaders and CEOs around the globe have been reaching the conclusion that the purpose of a corporation has shifted. The need to effectively manage market credit liquidity risks, of course, remains critical, but non-financial risks have become increasingly important. The accelerating climate risk, cyber threats, digital transformation, the rise of AI, and the ethical and social dilemmas these risks impose are demanding that businesses reinvent themselves. All of this is coming in the context of heightened geopolitical and macroeconomic tensions. Today's organizations are being asked to weigh in on and take action to deal with economic inequality, systemic racism, climate change, and social justice. Just a few key data points from the recent census. 87% of millennials and 94% of Gen Z expect organizations to address pressing social and environmental issues. Compare that to only 27% of Gen X and 16% of baby boomers that expect the same thing. Even more compelling is that 1/3 of the Canadian workforce are millennials today, nearly 1/3 are Gen X, and baby boomers are shrinking by the thousands every year, down to less than 20% of the workforce. This is a massive change in the makeup, but more importantly, in the expectation of the workforce today. We're seeing this played out in many ways, not the least of which is the challenges that return to office has posed for businesses and communities. In February, OSFI released its draft Culture and Behavior Risk Guideline for public consultation. It states that culture refers to the commonly held values, mindsets, beliefs, and assumptions that guide both what is important and how people should behave in an organization. It reinforces both the expectations and the requirements moving forward. It is a strong signal and reminder that effective risk management rests not just with you and I here today, but is impacted by the choices of every employee in every organization. Given the changing demographics that I just talked about, GRI has developed a tool to help educate and communicate the importance of risk management, regardless of the role an individual plays within your team. We wanted to appeal to this younger demographic and create something fun, innovative, and engaging. We have to meet individuals where they are, and that means delivering information and education on handheld devices. So we partnered with Rumi, a global nonprofit organization, to build a program to appeal to this audience and to support the work that all of you are doing in your institution today. The vision of Tariq Fancy and Rumi was to break down learning barriers worldwide and to promote social impact by offering people from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds access to bite-sized and engaging learning experience. So with this backdrop, we developed a GRI tool that you'll be able to share with everyone in your organization to help them understand and accelerate their understanding of risk management. It's called RiskLit, short for risk literacy. It's fun, engaging, and it's targeted at millennials and Gen Z employees to strengthen their risk management literacy. We're very excited about the launch of this new risk management learning platform. We're going to be showcasing it today. We've got a booth out here, so please drop by and take a look. It will be piloted at the end of October with the goal of making it available to everyone in your organization. And we've been testing it out. We've had a lot of very positive feedback from both industry and our government partners. So we hope that you will find it to be valuable in your organizations. In just a few minutes, you'll be introduced to our keynote speaker today, Niall Ferguson. Niall is one of the world's foremost historians and the author of several best-selling books. Niall will bring his perspective of the new era of risk and what he calls radical uncertainty. It is in this context and with this highly complex risk landscape that we begin our summit today. The capacity to navigate the complexity doesn't just happen. It's shaped by strong leadership. It's shaped by all of us. So I'd like to take a few moments just to recognize a few members of the GRI board. Mark Hughes, who I'm not sure where Mark is, but I know he's around somewhere, is the chair of my board, and really appreciate all of his advice and counsel and that of the entire board of directors. We welcomed 3 new board members this year. Jamie Hubbs, who many of you know, right over here, former vice superintendent of OSFI. Anton Averill, who is Executive Vice President and Chief Risk Officer at Desjardins Group, and who's going to be on one of your panels today. And Helena von Demhagen, the Chief Risk Officer at Manulife, who is in Asia or someplace today, and hopefully coming in for part of our virtual. I have an amazing team at GRI, ones that predict these things more event better than I do. So a special thank you to all of my team at Global Risk Institute. Thank you to all of you for all of your amazing support. Many of you volunteer and contribute your time and advice to me, so I really appreciate that. And finally, we're proud to have a number of very important sponsors. Rotman School of Business is an incredible partner with us and is our education sponsor. EY Canada is sponsoring the CRO session today. And PwC is, again, our lead sponsor for the summit, and we very much appreciate all of this support from our partners.